Good evening, everyone. This is Priyanshu Koshik, and welcome to the part 5 of our Current Affairs CLAT 2022 revision series. In this video, I'm going to discuss 10 questions. There is also a special offer from Unacademy, which is very great for you if you are going to apply for, if you are going to give CLAT 2022, which is scheduled for 19th June. Let's talk about the scheme of this video. There are going to be 10 questions and 5 questions are going to be per topic. So this basically I am going to discuss two topics in depth. After asking you questions, I will explain those topics in depth. Now let's move to your very first question. The very first question is the concept of Lok Adalat. The concept of Lok Adalat is based on whose principles? So which of these people have given the concept of Lok Adalat? Though it is a very old and ancient concept in itself, but some one of these person has initiated it in like public politics in India. So your option A is Mahatma Buddha, option B is Pandit Nehru, and option C is Mahatma Gandhi, and option D is Jayaprakash Narayan. So the correct answer is of course option C, which is Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi believed in a an idea of Gram Swaraj, something like that. So his idea was that we are going to at grassroots levels, justice should be done at grassroots levels. So that is the concept of Lok Adalat. Now let's move forward to the next question. The next question is, what does the term Lok Adalat mean? So the term Lok Adalat, what does this mean? Your option A is Human's Court, your option B is People's Court, your option C is People's Tribunal, and your option D is People's Law. The correct answer is of course option B, which is People's Court. Before moving forward, I would like to introduce you to Unacademy's offer, which I had also talked about in the beginning of the video that you are going to be provided with. So basically Unacademy is coming up with two mock tests. Yes, two mock tests which are going to be final mock test for CLAT 2022 aspirants. These are scheduled for 12th June and 16th June. First is going to be held on Sunday and the next one is going to be held on Thursday. Both are scheduled at 2 p.m. So you have to make sure that you are giving it at correct time. Both of these mock tests are completely free. Yes, both of these mock tests are completely free of cost. So you need not to worry about buying them. Also, I would like to assure you that more than 10,000 people are going to, you know, participate in this mock test. Because of that, you can get a proper understanding where do you stand in the, original CLAT exam if you are going to give that. All you have to do to unlock these, free mock test is to use my code, that is THRINATH 10. If you use my code, that is TRINATH 10, you will unlock these two mock tests completely for free without paying anything. Thank you. Now let's come back to the video originally. So your next question is, the first Lok Adalat camp was organized in Gujarat in which year? I'm sorry for the typing error that I have not completed the question. So the question is, the first Lok Adalat camp was organized in Gujarat in which year? So your option A is 1965, your option B is 1950, your option C is 1999, your option D is 1982. The correct answer here is of course option D, which I have already underlined, that is 1982. So the very first Lok Adalat was held in the state of Gujarat, probably in the district Ahmedabad, and it was in 1982. Now let's move forward to the next question. In which year the Legal Services Authorities Act, this act is basically behind empowering Lok Adalats and NALSA. So what is NALSA? NALSA is basically uh, National Legal Services Authority. So Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 was passed in which year? Your option A is 1989, option B is 1987, option C is 1968, your option D is 1998. So the correct answer is of course option B, which is underlined also, 1987. I'm sorry, I had already written it down here. It's a mistake on my side again. Next question, which organizations conducts Lok Adalat? So which organization is behind the conduction of Lok Adalat? Your option A is NALSA, that is National Legal Services Authority. Your option B is BCI, that is Bar Council of India. Your option C is Supreme Court, and option D is NJAC. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is of course option A, which is NALSA. So what is NALSA? NALSA is basically National Legal Services Authority. It was established in the year of 1995. 1995 for the very first time. Its chief in patron, or basically chief patron, is the CGI of country, the CGI of Supreme Court. Who is CGI of Supreme Court right now? It is NV Ramanna, and it is backed by the this act, that is Legal Services Authorities Act of 1987. It is backed by this act only, and the executive chairman of this NALSA is the second senior most judge of Supreme Court. Who is the second senior most judge of Supreme Court at the present moment? It is Justice U. Lalit. It is Justice U. Lalit. Now let's talk a little bit about BCI. What is BCI? BCI is Bar Council of India. So Bar Council of India was established in the year of 1961. In the year of 1961, and it is basically a statutory corporation, and it has jurisdiction all over India. The current chairman of it is Mohan Kumar Mishra. Mohan Kumar Mishra. So Mohan Kumar Mishra is the current chairman of Bar Council of India. Let's talk a little bit about SC, which is Supreme Court of India. What you already know about Supreme Court of India being the apex court. It is headquartered, maybe headquartered is not the appropriate word, so it is its presence is in New Delhi, and it appoints judges. The process of appointment of judges is held by a self institution which is called collegium, and the maximum age of retirement is 65. Sometimes this question has been asked in CLAT. So what is the maximum age of retirement for Supreme Court judges? It is 65 years. Now let's talk a little bit about NJAC. What is NJAC? It is National Judicial Appointment Commission, or maybe committee. So NJAC was a proposition which was supposed to replace the collegium system of Supreme Court. Basically, it was a proposed body regarding the recruitment and appointment of judicial officers. It was happened, or it was produced by 99th constitutional amendment into the Supreme Court of India, and it was passed in the year of 2014. And in the year of 2015, the Supreme Court of India struck it down, holding it unconstitutional. The Supreme Court of India held it unconstitutional in the year of 2015. Now let's move forward to the news. So let's talk about Lok Adalat. So what is the concept? I have already given certain questions. So the Lok Adalat has emerged as the most efficacious tool of alternative dispute resolution. So alternative dispute resolution, which is ADR. ADR is basically a form of judicial service which is outside of judicial imprints of the courts. A total number of, you can read this number, so it's something around 1,27,87,329 cases were disposed of in the year of 2021. So in just 1 year we have more than 1 crore 27 lakh cases solved in just a year. So that's a very great number. Due to technological advancement like e-Lok Adalats, also this is a very new concept which has emerged during the corona lockdowns. So e-Lok Adalats and Lok Adalats have reached the doorsteps of regional parties. So people who were earlier unable to access justice by Lok Adalat version, they are now able to reach it because of the electronic mode of this format of court. So the term Lok Adalat means people's court, and it is based on the Gandhian principle, as I've already told you in the questions. So it is an old form of adjudicating system which was prevalent in ancient India. So it is very ancient system which was prevalent in ancient India. You might have heard about the panchayat system, something similar like that. So in the ancient villages, Panchayat just not was not just responsible for the work related to the village, it was also responsible for imparting justice. So Lok Adalat is more of an extended form of Panchayat. The other processes also there were, it was not just Panchayat. Its validity has not been taken away even in the modern days too. Now let's talk about in brief about it is. So it is one of the components of ADR, that is alternative dispute resolution system, and it delivers informal, cheap and expeditious justice to the common people. The point is informal, cheap and expeditious justice, expeditious being speedy justice. So the first Lok Adalat camp was organized in Gujarat in 1982. I have already told you about this one. It was given statutory status. So Lok Adalat is a statutory body which is given statutory status under the Legal Services Authorities Act of 1987. A Lok Adalat consists of a judicial officer. It consists of a judicial officer as a chairman. So a judicial officer is a chairman, a lawyer as an advocate, and a social worker as members. So generally these three people are necessary for a Lok Adalat to function properly. NALSA, that is National Legal Services Authority, along with other legal services institutions, conducts Lok Adalat regularly. So NALSA was constituted under the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987, which came into force on 9th November 1995. I have already told you about this one in the question section. The Lok Adalat shall have the same powers as are vested in the Civil Code under the Civil Code of Procedure, CPC. So you might not be aware of this, but Lok Adalat has the capacity similar to a civil code. So matters such as matrimonial or family issues, criminal which are compoundable offences, cases of land acquisition, labor dispute, workman compensation, bank recovery, etc. Basically issues which are compoundable offences which can be solved outside of the court by negotiation between the parties. So those sort of cases are being taken up in Lok Adalats and are being adjudicated upon. The award by the Lok Adalat is binding upon the parties, and it has the status of a decree of a civil court, and it is non-appealable. So basically you cannot appeal to a higher court or higher authority if the decision or the decree, if the decision of Lok Adalat is against you, and the decision which has been taken by it is being given the status of a decree being held by a civil court. There is no court fees in Lok Adalat, and if court fee has been already paid, it is usually refunded if the dispute is settled at Lok Adalat. So this was all about Lok Adalat. Now let's move on to the next topic of this video. Which section of IPC defines the crime of rape? So which section of IPC, what is IPC? IPC is Indian Penal Code. IPC is Indian Penal Code. So what about section 74? Option B, section 375. Your option C is section 376, and your option D is section 420. The correct answer is of course section 375, which talks about definitions of rape. And there is something problematic in this section 375 in one of its exceptions, which is only one exception also only there. So it says that marital rape, marital rape, a rape which is done against a woman who is married to a person, and the person who is raping her is her husband, her legally married husband. So the exception says that a legally married husband cannot rape his legally married wife. Why? Because the idea of marriage is that female is giving her consent by just marrying the person. So what about these other sections? Section 374 talks about unlawful compulsory labor. It's like bandhwa mazduri, you would have heard about, if it not. The section 376 talks about punishment for rape. Like there are various methods and various people who in different capacities conduct the crime of rape. So that has been mentioned here under section 376. And you are already aware about the section 420, which is of fraud, etc. Now let's move towards the next question. Which country was first to recognize the criminal nature of marital rape? Which country was the first to recognize the criminal nature of marital rape? Option A is Germany, option B is France, option C is Australia, and option D is United Kingdom, that is Britain. The correct answer is of course option C, which is Australia. Under the heat wave of second under the heat of second wave feminism, yes, second wave feminism, Australia became the first country to enact a law which basically to bring reforms to make marital rape in an exceptional manner as being a crime. After the passing of this reform by Australia, a lot of countries, especially Western and Scandinavian countries, instituted the marital rape as a crime. Now let's move forward to the next question. Which committee recommended criminalization of marital rape? Option A is Justice J.S. Verma Committee. Option B, Justice Mishra Committee. Option C, Justice Ravikant Committee. And option D is none of the above. The correct answer is of course option A, which is Justice J.S. Verma Committee. Justice J.S. Verma Committee was instituted after the, if you remember, the 2011, if I'm not wrong, the Nirbhaya rape case. So that was a very gruesome act which was done by 5 people who were majorly residents of Delhi. In a moving bus, they inserted iron rods inside the vagina of the victim. So that was very, gruesome. So after that incident, Justice J.S. Verma Committee was instituted by the government of India, and it brought a lot of recommendations for reforming the laws relating to rape. And this Justice J.S. Verma Committee was also behind the bringing of Criminal Law Amendment Act of 2013. But what it has also recommended criminalization of, it has also recommended criminalization of marital rape. But the government of India, which was of Congress at that time, it not just which was of Congress at that time, rejected the proposal and ignored everything relating to criminalization of marital rape. Now let's move forward. Which of the following countries haven't criminalized marital rape? So which of the following countries have not yet criminalized marital rape? Your option A is China, option B is Pakistan, option C is Saudi Arabia, option D is Bangladesh, and option E is all of the above. The correct answer is of course option E, that is all of the above. Neither China nor Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, any of these countries have not criminalized marital rape. Who is the current managing director? I'm sorry. This is by a mistake. So let's talk about the news. Recently, a batch of petitions seeking criminalization of marital rape has been filed in the Delhi High Court. So a batch of petitions was filed in the Delhi High Court regarding, seeking the criminalization of marital rape. In response to it, the union government, that is the central government, has replied that it is considering a constructive approach towards criminalizing it, and had sought suggestions from various stakeholders whether the criminalization of marital rape should be initiated or not. These petitions seek to amend the criminal law, which includes Section 375 rape, which defines rape of the Indian Penal Code. This amendment is regarding the exception mentioned in the Section 375. What are the global trends regarding the same? The grounds for marital immunity. Marital immunity. What is marital immunity? Basically, when you have married someone, you get the consent to have sex with them just by the fact of the marriage. It does not matter whether the person is consenting at the moment of the sexual intimacy between both the couples. So the ground for marital immunity for rape prosecution have emerged from the patriarchal discourse in the society. It is being labeled that patriarchy is behind this act. So according to which a husband cannot be guilty of rape committed upon his lawful wife. You have to read it again. A husband cannot be guilty of a rape committed upon his wife because she has given up herself in this kind to her husband by her mutual matrimonial consent. So matrimonial, which is being the idea of marriage itself, So marriage becomes the form of consent and contract which she cannot retract. So marriage is being regarded as a contract which she cannot retract until they are divorced. So under the impact of the second wave feminism in the 70s, Australia became the first common law country to pass reforms in 1976, and after it many Scandinavian and European countries made rape a marital rape in marriage a criminal offense. Marital rape exception. So as I've already told you, section 375 of Indian Penal Code, which exempts forceful sexual intercourse by a man with his own wife. It exempts forceful sexual intercourse by a man with his own wife from the offense of rape, provided the wife is above 15 years of age. So this is a very important fact, that wife has to be above 15 years of age, also known as marital rape exception. So this is the marital rape exception, that if the wife is above the age of 15 years, a man can have sexual intercourse with her without her consent. Her consent basically does not matter. Why we are going for criminalization of marital rape? Basically because it is against basic rights of women. This exception clause violates the woman's fundamental right to equality, freedom of speech and expression, and most of all right to life and personal liberty. It But what about the opposing arguments? The government has said that that if we criminalize marital rape, then it will have destabilizing effect on institution of marriage. It has also claimed that misuse of legal provisions like section 498A of IPC and also Domestic Violence Act of 2005 are being used you know very regularly to harass the husband and its family. Criminalizing marital rape would become an easy tool for harassing husbands. So these are the contentions of the government of India. Now I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you like the content, please hit the subscribe button and also the like button, and please do share this with your friends. And if you happen to you know if you want to give mock test, then you should definitely refer to Unacademy's free mock test. All you have to do is to use my code, that is THRINTH3NATH10, and you will get a free discount. Yes, you do not have to pay anything and you will get these two mock tests completely for free. Thank you.